Yo, what's cracking with the people, man? What's popping? What's popping with y'all, man? Breaking news, breaking news. And I'm not gonna be up here too long. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. I'm not gonna be up here too long. I gotta go to I'm going to the movies to see Ant-Man. So y'all, I won't be up here too long, but we gotta talk about the breaking news that just happened. We hired, and I gotta get Dave this link, so give me 1 second. But we did hire our offensive coordinator. I said that it would be done by today, and it's done. It's done by today. Okay. And so shout out to man Reich, shout out to Fitterer, shout out to everybody involved, because this is nuts right now. This is nuts. So this is a great hire. Again, out of the two guys that we had, Jim Bob Cooter and we had Thomas Brown. Those were the two guys that were in the running for us to hire as offensive coordinator. It went down. It went down. So as soon as the Bucks hired their offensive coordinator, didn't go with Brown, that pretty much opened the door for us to solidify, because the Bucks also interviewed Thomas Brown and they didn't hire him. All right. So this is all good news, and this is great news from multiple angles. Okay. We got to break this down from multiple angles. All right. So one, and I see y'all talking about it right now. So the look, and I think shout out to Corey. Corey says this is the first black offensive coordinator tandem in the history, and I didn't know that to be true until Corey said it. So somebody got to fact check that. But my guy said that, man, the comments are moving so crazy. But I can't go back to get it. My bad, Corey. Oh, here you go. Corey King says first black OC and DC in the NFL ever. That's crazy. So I just want to point that out, because a lot of y'all was calling Tepper racist for not hiring Wilkes immediately. A lot of y'all had that energy. Let's keep it a buck. I'm here to keep it a buck. This is what I do on this pod. They don't want me to pod, but if to keep it a buck, a lot of y'all were talking about Tepper being racist and the owner being racist for not hiring Wilkes as the head coach. And I always was on the side of, listen, get the best people in the building. And that's what's happening right now. I believe that Frank Reich was the better option than Wilkes. Okay, that's just to me, that's just facts. So you got a better head coach, and now you're starting to get guys that were getting both of these guys. Evero, okay, was getting a head coach interviews just this year. He got interviewed for head coaching. In fact, he interviewed for the head coaching job here in Carolina, right? So, and then now you got Thomas Brown, who's also he's hot out in these streets. He's hot outside. This is a young guy. He's 36 years old. Thomas Brown is 36 years old and spent time with Sean McVay. Again, bro, this is what I've been trying to say. Fam, you have got to pluck from success. And I know the Rams weren't that great last year, but they got a ring, right? They got a ring, bro. They got a ring. All right. So you gotta pluck from what works. All right. So this guy coming from the McVay system, even though he's okay, let's keep it a buck. Let's go ahead and keep it a buck right now. I believe somebody said it in the comments. Okay. Somebody said it in the comments. He's not gonna call plays. He may not call plays. He might not. Again, Reich is on record saying, "Yo, I'm probably gonna call the plays. Like if push comes to shove, I'll call the plays." This man has never called plays at the NFL level. He used to be offensive coordinator in Georgia or something like that. But Dave, what's good, man? Welcome, Dave, in the building. Let me see here real quick. Let me change his background.
Can you hear me, man?
Yep, you sound fine, Dave. You sound great. Let me just change the background. There we go. Dave is in the building. I'm just talking about Thomas Brown, and again, we'll go briefly over his history. He spent the last year as assistant coach and tight ends coach for the Rams under McVay. We talked about that. He was in LA for 3 seasons working as assistant head coach, running backs coach, and tight ends coach during his tenure with the Rams. Again, he was running backs coach and assistant head coach when they won the Super Bowl. That is important. Okay. He's got 12 years of coaching experience total, 3 years in the NFL, and spent most of the time in the college ranks. Again, from South Carolina. He's a cock too. Dave, say it one time for the people.
No, I will not.
Oh, man.
But I am happy that he is a South Carolina product, and I'm happy he has championships. And I'm thrilled with this pickup, man. Like I was kind of indifferent on the options. I actually not really. I preferred this one because then I knew that Frank was going to be calling plays. Like this one kind of confirmed to me that Frank will likely be calling the plays, which was good. Like the big thing about me, if you're gonna hire an offensive minded coach, I wanted a guy that was going to be calling the plays, and this confirms that he's going to be calling the plays. So I was happy with this.
Yeah, I agree. And again, we talked about this on the show Monday or Tuesday. In that, listen, it doesn't matter who we hire as offensive coordinator. It doesn't matter because guess what? Reich is probably gonna end up calling the plays anyway. Dave, be safe on that road because I know you accident prone.
Oh no. I don't have as many
safe,
accidents as you, bro. I'm good. I'm
right,
looking straight. Be good.
All right.
I ain't that far from the house.
So just going back and recapping this, he's from he was running backs coach at South Carolina, Miami, Georgia, Wisconsin, Marshall, Chattanooga, and then jumped into the NFL. He also was offensive coordinator in Miami from 2016 2018. All right, so that's important to note that he has called plays before, just not at the NFL level. All right, so again, he was a popular candidate for offensive coordinators across the league. The Texans interviewed him for the head coaching job too, as well, before they hired DeMeco Ryans. Also, the Bucks interviewed him for offensive coordinator position as well. Now, again, this is important. This is important. Like I said, I think for we talked about the minority candidates, Dave. We talked about we have two minority coordinators, right? In Evero and now Thomas Brown. That these guys, if they get picked up somewhere, bro, that we're playing chess right now. We're playing chess. Let's keep it a buck.
2 years. They got to be there 2 years.
They got to be here for 2 years. Yes, they got to be here for 2 years. That's absolutely correct. But we playing chess out here. We're making chess moves. Okay, we are making chess moves while others are just playing checkers. All right. So we talk about the 49ers and how they're doing it.
We're doing San Francisco we're doing San Francisco type things right now.
Correct.
We're doing San Francisco type things right now.
So now when you look at that offensive staff, here we go. Let's take a look at it. Caldwell, all right. Deuce Staley, quarterbacks coach, Josh McCown, pass game coordinator, Parks Frazier, all right. Camping, okay. Offensive line assistant in Robert Kugler. Bro, this is elite, bro. This is elite offensive staff. I feel 1,000% confident that we have, and I think I saw this in the chat too, and my bad because I can't scroll up comments moving too fast. But I mean, you want to talk about staff wise? We clearly have the best staff in NFC South, not even close. But we pushing for the best staff in the league right now. Let's keep it a buck.
This might be that offensively. That might be one of the best staffs we might have had in franchise history. I mean, the only one that might. And I got to go back and look. And obviously, I'm not in front of a computer and I'm driving. But the only one that I might want to dig and look into is probably that 99 offensive staff. But we're only talking on paper, too, right? Because that 99, I don't think that 99 offensive staff was pretty damn good. But
again, Dave is right. On paper, that is key, right? They've got to come out here and they've got to execute. Again, I can understand the skepticism from many fans. Oh, we got this great staff, but what are they going to do? The player, you're right. You're absolutely right. But this is step one. You should,
absolutely,
fans, you should feel good about this. This is step one in creating a damn good team. Let's keep it a buck. I know some of y'all, again, got PTSD. I get it. But this is clearly step one. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I completely agree with you, bro. Like, I'm there. Like, for me, dealing with what I had to deal with for the last 2-3 years, I'm still going to be on PTSD until kickoff happens. And I actually see, offensive competency. So I'm going to be on it for a little bit, because I'm still, having flashbacks. What the hell I saw. So I get it. I completely understand the fan base feeling how they feel with regards to what the hell they had to deal with for the past 3 years. So I get it. completely get it.
Yep. So a lot of y'all are talking about Melvin Gordon because again, he's coached some really good running backs in college. So you talk about Melvin Gordon, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel. Those are some of the guys that he coached that are in the NFL right now. And you know, talking about Melvin Gordon, Gordon was a beast in college. People forget that dude was he finished second place for the Heisman Trophy, and he posted the second best numbers ever for running back in college. I mean, he had like 2,500. And Wisconsin, to be clear, Wisconsin has a farm. They have a farm full of running backs that they normally, because they run the ball a lot. That's typically what they do. But and Melvin Gordon that year ended up being selected 15th overall in the 2015 draft under Brown. So then he went back to coach Georgia, and then that's where he coached Chubb, Michelle, and you know how it went there. And both of those guys went early picks in the NFL. So this dude knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing with the running backs. In fact, he was a running back as well in the NFL. He got drafted in the 6th round to the Atlanta Falcons in, I believe, 2008.
That name, I was wondering about that, man, because I said that name sounded like, when I kept hearing Thomas Brown, I was wondering it on Tuesday too, and I'm like, did he play in the league?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
he played. Well, technically he didn't play because he never played a regular season snap for the Falcons, but he was drafted, and that
right.
I guess that counts. That counts. So again, RJ says no need to stress about QBs. No matter who walks through that door, these guys will coach the hell out of them. And I gotta agree. I gotta agree with that. I'm not stressed out about quarterback. I obviously want CJ Stroud. That's clear. I'm
don't be
on
lying
record
to these people. Now you be talking about me capping.
No, I'm good. No, Dave, I'm so okay. So let me clarify my statement because I want a quarterback. I want to draft a quarterback.
Okay.
But let me be clear on that. In that, I don't care who we get.
Okay.
As long as it's one of the top 4 guys.
All right. So you want to draft
I'm clarifying my statement. We got to draft a quarterback.
Okay.
And I don't care which one it is because I feel confident this staff is going to make them better. I feel confident they're going to be able to develop a guy. I do want CJ Stroud. Let me be clear. I still want to trade up for CJ Stroud. Let me be clear. Let me be clear on that.
I think at this point, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think at this point for me, I know that we're gonna and I've been what happened on Tuesday was just to try to prepare the fan base because I didn't want the fan base to have this realization that we weren't going to pick up a quarterback in free agency, and it could go in a multitude of directions, regardless of who we could get. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was about just trying to prepare the fan base of what could potentially happen here. But from my perspective now, considering how the coaching staff is kind of filled out on the offensive side of the ball, I'm comfortable staying at 9 and taking what the hell's there at 9. From the standpoint of whatever quarterback's sitting there now. Because I trust this coaching staff enough, whoever's there, they can develop.
And that's why I want to trade up for 9, right? Or trade up from 9 to wherever we got to get CJ Stroud. Because I feel like if you sit back and wait, you're going to be there with leftovers, right? And if you want the best talent, you go get the best talent in CJ Stroud. And I feel like we have the capital to do that. And I wouldn't be mad. I saw that the mock trade floating around with the Bears where we would give up the 9th pick, a 3rd and a 4th round pick, and then the 2024 1st round and the 2024 3rd round. I'm like, yo, I would do that any day to get the first. I would do that every day and tomorrow, all day to move up to get 1st overall. I have no problem doing that.
Would you do that?
I think I'm missing you, Dave.
To go get they traded.
Say that again.
Good.
Say it again.
I'm driving. I'm trying to back my joint back in. So they traded to get Justin Fields. They traded a 9th pick overall for Justin Fields or something to that effect.
Yeah, I would do a straight up trade for Justin Fields as well. The only problem with that is we only have a few years left on his rookie deal. I'm looking to maximize the rookie contract. That's part of team building. But if you can get a Justin Fields for the 9th pick, I would do that too. I would do that as well. I have no problem doing that.
It's an interesting conundrum about that whole ordeal when it comes to him. Only because, man, I don't know how I feel about that. Because Yeah, he's been playing really well. Um, on from a rushing standpoint. But and I'm not saying he won't be a good quarterback, but I just question why. But I don't know. I
You
don't
gotta
know.
watch. You gotta watch Fields in college, bro. He was not a running quarterback in college. He was
No, I
a
know he
pass
wasn't. No,
first
no, no,
guy.
no, no. I know he wasn't. I know he wasn't. I'm like I'm at the point where I'm like leaning it towards like, oh, it's just Chicago. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it is. It
It's
is.
just
I think
Chicago.
when you look at their offensive line, bro, they didn't have the best offensive line in the world either. So again, that's why I think now is the right time for us to draft one, because we now have the tools to make that person better. You know what I mean? So that's just my thought process. But back to Thomas Brown again. I think this is a great hire. I love it. I love the hire. Love it. Love it. Love it. Again, we talked about it, and the stars aligned. I thought this would be done by the end of the week, and it happened. So. Let me see. Anything else on Thomas Brown? Let me see if I can find some other news on the Twitterverse floating.
Make sure you're jacked up, man.
You breaking up.
Oh, so it is. All right, so it is. Now I'm gonna leave and come back in. Give me 1 second.
Let me see. I'm checking the Twitterverse to see what's going on. They're finalizing the details. They agreed to terms, so technically we haven't hired him yet. I guess my title is a little inaccurate because we've agreed to terms and not hired technically yet, but it's gonna happen. Let's see here. Let me see. Just checking it out. Checking it out. And again, that was the second interview for Thomas Brown as well. We interviewed him twice. All right, here we go. Here's a quick little shout out to let me share my screen on this so y'all can kind of get to know. I'm gonna play this video. Share audio. All right, I'm gonna share this little clip real quick. I'm gonna run this back. Here we go. My bad. Y'all see y'all can't hear it. Give me 1 second. It says share system audio. My bad. Shots up. Give me 1 second, y'all, because I'm not wearing my headphones. That might be why. All right, let me try this.
The assistant head coach.
Can y'all hear it now?
Ball and hands come a low to high. I generate power from the ground up. Keep that elbow tight. Hand above the elbow against the ribcage. Good. Hey, all fan cover around the bag. Ground up, get my second step in the ground again. Do a really good job coming low to high.
He's got such a unique and an educated and a very impressive thought process as it relates to a lot of things outside of football. You know, that's why he's also the assistant head coach. I heavily lean on him with some things where he runs leadership group meetings. He has a great pulse for the team.
Good. Much better. Much better. Every rep a game rep. Full speed. What is our man? What's up, dog? Good, coach. Great, man. You all right? Good.
I think having an opportunity to move on past coaching running backs to coaching tight ends, to me, is a great opportunity just for myself, but also I think for this entire team as well, to be able to have a different voice in that room and a different.
Good. Ball and hands coming low to high. I generate power.
I gotta find that full video, but it's out there. I think this is a really good hire. Like I said, this is a guy who's been on a lot of, again, when guys are getting head coaching jobs, that ought to tell you something. And this guy's been getting head coaching jobs. Welcome back, Dave.
Sorry, man. My bad, bro.
Are you
that
good?
that shit went haywire. My whole shit went crazy. I was sounding like a damn robot. I had to, and I was on my way back into the house anyway, so it didn't make no damn sense.
But yeah, man, great hire, Dave. How would you grade this hire? How would you grade this hire? 0 to 10, 1 to 10. What you grade it?
Oh, considering the head coach, I'll give this at least a 9. At least a 9.
I'm about it a 9 too. I like
this
hire
at least a 9. Oh yeah, at least a 9. I mean, because the thing for me, there's a couple things you gotta take into account. Because you don't want to have, like, we knew that Tepper wanted to hire an offensive guy, right? So when you start thinking from that perspective, you knew he wanted an offensive guy. You got your offensive guy. You got a head coach that can call plays. So you got a guy that's going to call the plays. You bring in an offensive coordinator that's not likely going to get snatched in a year. So you get some level of stability within the offensive coordinator slot. That's the key more than anything else. Like, you want to have stability within that offensive coordinator slot. Now, granted, there's been a lot of offensive coordinators who don't call plays that do get hired. We've seen it a lot. But the likelihood, I mean, considering other circumstances that I ain't going to get to tonight, the likelihood is slim within the first year. So, and I like that portion of it. And then he would get the opportunity to get better at it too. And he's called plays in college and other places. So I like the opportunity for it. Everybody's talking about trading for Ramsay. I mean, just because they got 2 LA Rams guys, they think we're going to trade for Ramsay?
Actually, I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. I think this is most certainly a possibility. Because the Rams...
No shit. I haven't been paying too much attention to what's been going on with that.
The Rams are going to cut... They may look to cut a Ramsay, first of all, but they might look to trade him first. But if you look at Evero coached him, right? And then not only that, the DB coach, he coached him. The DB coach, the cornerbacks coach that we just hired, he's coached him. Let me just pull up. Let's see, 1 second. Yeah, so Evero coached him, Cooley coached him, and then the tight end coach that we have, he also had run-ins with not run-ins, that's a bad term, but he also had some connection to Jalen Ramsey. So there's a lot of guys that we've There's a lot of guys that have connections to that have connections to Ramsey. So I think it's most certainly possibility.
Oh, that's interesting.
Especially when you look at just the coordinator, the defensive coordinator himself, and then the corners coach that we just picked up. Most certainly, that's a big deal right there. So those 2 guys, Capers doesn't have a connection to him.
Nah, Capers. You think Capers coached everywhere. You think you have a connection with everybody. He's been in the league for a long time. Nah, man, I love that hire. They have pretty much been batting 1,000 on all these hires. But the question is, what would we have to give up to get Ramsay?
It depends. If they're trying to just move him and he wants to go, like, I don't think it'll cost too much. Because it's that they have no leverage. It's a cap issue, it's a cap casualty, or they're gonna let him walk. So it's one of those situations where you want to get something for him, and something is better than nothing. So I don't think it'll be a crazy number. I don't think it's gonna be something crazy, Dave. To be honest, it ain't gonna be like a first, second, or third. I think it'd be like a late pick, something like that. Package of a future late pick.
I was wondering, like, would you trade a player?
I don't think it's gonna be a player situation.
Oh, really? Okay. And I'm just curious. I didn't realize what it was. But this is strictly a cap thing. It's not a situation where Ramsay wants out. It's more just a straight up, it's a cap thing. They got to cut him because of the money. Is what you're pretty much based on what the vibe that I'm getting from you.
Yeah, basically like the Gilmore deal. Basically, yeah. So,
okay.
But yeah, this man, listen. every coach we've hired, I've liked them. There's not a bad. I haven't seen a bad hire yet. I'm excited, bro. This Thomas Brown, and again, it's not just in the day. I think Dave made a great point. It's about continuity. Because if Reich is going to call the plays, or if whoever, I don't know what the situation is going to be, whether he's going to call plays or not. But if he doesn't, he's going to be around for a couple of years. If that offense is hot and he happens to be the guy that's tied to that situation, and he's taking credit for it because he's technically OC, that's going to do nothing but prop us up to get draft picks. And it's a great. I'm telling you, if you're not looking at it from that situation, then I can't help you. Like if you hate, and I don't know what I see other people talking about other channels and other people hating. If you hating on this, that means you're not playing chess. You're not playing chess. This is a chess move, bro. This is a chess move.
Because the thing is, the only beef I had with the right hire was if he was going to act like a CEO coach. Like if he wasn't going to call the plays, I was not for it, because I felt like the reason why you bring him in is to call these plays, because that's something that he's really good at. That's why you bring him in. Like, we credit him for the success of what he did with the quarterbacks that he had when he was in Indianapolis. The man had 4 different quarterbacks the 4 seasons he was there. So, like, you brought him in because of what he was able to do with the 4 different quarterbacks that he had when he was in Indianapolis and what he did with those offenses. So, from my perspective, if you make the decision to go with Frank Reich, I would have felt a certain type of way if you brought in an offensive coordinator that was going to call all the plays. I would have been like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this. Because I had faith that he was going to bring in a DC that was going to do the duty and have somebody pretty much handle that side of the fence. Oh, here we go. We got somebody, and he can't even spell coordinators. We can't even spell coordinators. God damn, that's a terrible way to spell coordinators. Good God almighty, man.
Come on, Dave.
That is terrible. Dog. Good grief. All them A's, no 2 O's. Good God. Whew.
Address the point, Dave. Address the point.
Oh, God. All right. No, I get your point. I didn't want a guy, like, I already got a play card, and he's the head coach. I want him to do I want Thomas Brown to game plan, and I want Frank Reich to call the plays. That's what I want.
Yeah, man. No, go ahead.
Yo, I'm dying. I'm like,
they killing Humble spelling in the chat. But yeah, so he said this is a bad. There were more experienced coordinators, and this guy hired was not a play caller, bro. Let me tell you something. So first of all,
he called plays in college though.
We have an experienced play caller in Frank Reich. I would agree with you if we did not already have Frank Reich, who probably is going to call plays. That would make sense. I would agree with you then. But that's not the case here. We have a guy. And again, this is a chess move. This is a chess move. If he's not a play caller, so what? The head coach is a play caller, and he can call plays.
I mean, so let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of folks give Andy Reid for calling all the damn plays in Kansas City. Even though we know there are enemies out here calling these plays. But you know what? I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up and be quiet. Keep my mouth shut.
Cage Luke Mister says, if this ain't chess, it's definitely Uncle Charlie's checkers. Nice move by Tepper on his repentance tour.
Yo, we need to come up with a better term than repentance.
Repentance tour is funny, yo.
That is hilarious. We got to come up with a stronger term than repentance, though. I need some more strength. We need repentance, recovery, redo, instant replay, remix, redone. This shit never happened. Something.
Yeah. This is a great hire, though. This is a great
phenomenal hire.
This is a great hire. I love it. And I think it's going to fit right in. And I love the diversity we have. And I like that these guys, this isn't a nephewtism hire. And shout out to Pat Coltrane. This isn't a nephewtism situation. They went out and got one of the best guys or one of the hot names in the market. Again, hot name. Some of y'all are looking at it as in, oh, he can't call plays. I'm looking at it in hot name.
What about our TE? What about our TE coach? We already got our TE coach, Thomas Brown.
He could be the tight end coach. Yeah, so he could serve double duty.
He could serve double duty if Frank's calling the plays.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yep. So yeah, I don't know that we're gonna hire a tight ends coach.
Look, man, with the bags that Tepper's following, he got to save some money somewhere. This is probably the opportunity to do it.
Do you think Andy Reid won a Super Bowl by not calling his own plays? I'm on PNP side. This is a fact.
I mean, look, man. Look, I don't think. Do I think Andy Reid called all the plays? No. I don't think you should not give Airbnb some credit.
At the end of the day, I know because we dance around this topic all the time. At the end of the day, bro, we don't know who the hell calls plays. We none of us sitting behind these screens know.
We don't.
We ultimately don't know. We know that Andy Reid is an offensive mind, and the end of the day, the head coach is the one driving the ship. See, he's gonna drive the philosophy to say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Whether Airbnb takes that, puts a spin on it, cool. At the end of the day, the philosophy came from Andy Reid. That's a fact. That's something we can't deny that, because that's what Andy Reid is, an offensive guru. That's what he does, right? At the end of the day, we don't know who is calling in the plays. We don't know that. Nobody knows except for Andy Reid and maybe Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the offensive guys and Chiefs. They know. But we sitting behind these computers don't know, and nobody sitting on Twitter knows either, right? The crazy thing is, we're talking about us Panthers fans. Guess what? We're not gonna know who the hell's calling plays here either. They're not unless somebody comes out and says, "Hey, Frank Reich's called." They're gonna ask him. They're gonna ask Frank.
And he can decide to answer it or not.
There you go.
And that's the thing, right? And then if you want to go back to the Andy Reid situation, let's say Andy was calling all the plays. The two offensive coordinators before him got head coaching jobs.
Facts.
So if Andy Reid was calling the plays all this time, the two prior to him got head coaching jobs, and they didn't win Super Bowls before they got them.
Fact.
Bieniemy got two as OC. And the two guys that the coordinators on the other team, those guys got jobs, and they were the losers. They were the losers. So you can't say it was because they were too far in the playoffs. They were in the same spot. So I don't know. So let's say Andy did call all the plays. The previous two OCs got head coaching gigs, and one of them ended up winning the Super Bowl for Philadelphia. So go figure. And then get fired and got another job with the Jags. So. Yeah, take it how you want.
Also, hey, listen. Also, don't let it go under the radar that we signed an assistant special teams coordinator too.
Yeah, that one was interesting.
Yeah, assistant special teams coordinator is Devin Fitzsimmons. Obviously, that was announced shortly. I don't know why they didn't let this man get no shine, because everybody talking about Thomas Brown instead of this Fitzsimmons. He didn't get no chance to shine, not even a couple of minutes. They could have at least released this one first and then release Thomas Brown so he can get his little 5 minutes of fame. But here at PNP, we're going to cover it because that's what we do, and everybody gets their shine over here. All right, so Fitzsimmons, he comes over from the Arizona Cardinals. He spent time 2021, 2022 in the same role with the Arizona Cardinals. And he goes back to Dave, what's crazy? Fitzsimmons, guess where he coached, Dave? In 2005.
South Carolina.
Take a wild guess. And I'm not going to leave until you start guessing. So you need to guess.
South Carolina.
No.
Clemson.
No. Nuh-uh. You going the wrong way, bro.
New England.
Think your other content. Keep going.
Oh, A&T?
No. But you're tracking. You're tracking. Nope.
Johnson Smith?
Nope, you're cold. You was in the vicinity. You was in the vicinity with Central. You're in that area.
Oh, I'm in that area.
You're in that area.
Okay, so Shaw
University, Dave.
Wow.
Coached at Shaw University in 2005. Crazy. And so he coached at Shaw there, and then he went to Bucknell University 2006, Kansas State in 2007, 2008, Virginia 2009, Richmond in 2010, Rutgers in 2012, Delaware in 2013 as special teams coordinator, tight end for Vanderbilt between 2019 and 2020. So then he came up to the professional ranks in 2021. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Also, he was an offensive quality control coach for the Colts back in 2011 when you know who Frank Reich was on the staff, and and Jim Caldwell was there as well. Jim Caldwell and Frank Reich were there. So there's a little bit of nephewtism going on there, but I ain't mad at that. But shout out to this dude, man. Shout out to him. That's a assistant. I ain't mad at that because guess what? Tabor might get a bag somewhere, and you gotta prepare for that. So I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart to get somebody in the wings, man, to prepare if Tabor makes a move.
I'm not mad at that at all. Not mad at it at all, man. I'm over here updating the coaching staff chart, and we're still missing a wide receivers coach
and a tight ends coach, but I think we got a tight ends coach, but I don't think they've. Yep. I don't know if they're going to officially announce that yet. They did officially announce the special teams coach and the offensive. They made Camp an O-line coach, so
I'm so glad they did that.
Dog.
I was sweating a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, I was sweating a little bit.
It's just a little.
Like, they don't get Tabor and Camping back, we're gonna have some problems. But they made it happen. They made it happen. So shout out to them.
Look, man, they had to do those. They had to. Like, how could you not? How could you not? You had to. There's some things where you just have to. That was one of those moments.
Oh, and we didn't talk about this, but we also reached out to Dan Orlovsky from ESPN for a prominent, quote unquote, prominent role on the staff. I don't know what it was, but we reached out. I'm not sure what it was. I'm assuming offensive coordinator, but that's just me guessing. I don't know. That's just me guessing. So let me just finish updating the.
Yeah, I think the big thing at this point, somebody asked the question of what's the next step for us. I mean, we still got to fill out the coaching staff, man. And then we got the HBCU Legacy Bowls about to come up. I believe that's next week. And the HBCU Combine's about to come up. Then we got the NFL Combine that's about to come up. So we got a couple other things that's about to come down the pipe.
Yeah, it was important. It was important for us to get this staff ready because it's about to be a Combine and Pro Day season immediately, quick. And so it's important that we get the staff right. So now you're going to start to see, guys are going to start flying out to these Pro Days and all that other stuff to kind of prepare. So, this was critical, and I'm glad the chips fell pretty quickly because we were talking about it, and I felt like as soon as we hired who did we hire to kick this joint off? As soon as we hired Caldwell, I knew that stuff was going to start happening pretty quick. But we made a lot of hires this week. So just real quick, let's run through this because this is where we stand right now. Obviously, Frank Reich, head coach, assistant head coach Deuce Staley, senior assistant Jim Caldwell, offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, just hired today, met about 30 minutes ago. Pass game coordinator Parks Frazier, who came from the Colts as well. I'm dropping those y'all like those little videos I'm dropping?
Yeah, I noticed you out here dropping them little nuggets today, man.
Dropping a little short. Let me go ahead and drop Thomas Brown joint real quick. I just got to shift it from unlisted to
We're out here dropping these nuggets. It was crazy at work today, man. I had another speaker today at work today, so that was the only reason why I came in.
You got another daggone Tuskegee Airman Day?
No, not another Tuskegee Airman. This guy, he's involved with the Newport Rhode Island Black Heritage Society. So he was talking about the Gilead age and how back in the 17 and 1800s up in the Northeast, how there was like a lot of rich black folks up here pretty much running the scene, running the town up here, particularly in Newport, Rhode Island, which was, I was learning a lot of stuff. It was an interesting presentation he had this morning. So yeah, I couldn't get another Tuskegee Airman. Although he did say, One of his family members was a Tuskegee Airman, but he died and he got killed in service, which was kind of, I didn't expect that call back, but I got a call back.
Yeah,
but no Tuskegee Airman.
Yeah, so shout out to all those little videos. I just dropped the Thomas Brown one, by the way. So that one is the short. I'm talking about the shorts. I'm dropping some YouTube shorts just about these coordinators. I'm probably gonna do them throughout the season. Just drop a couple YouTube shorts, maybe quick little highlight videos or quick little like prospect videos. I might do for guys that for pro days and things like that. For pro days that are coming up, I might drop a quick little short, something like that. I don't know. I like the shorts because I don't gotta get on camera. I can do them real quick, so I like them. I like them. But all right. So anyway, moving on. Pass game coordinator Parks Frazier, quarterbacks coach Josh McCown. I still like that. I got to get a 12 jersey for him to sign. Let's just talk about some of this stuff I'm gonna get signed, Dave. I gotta get Frank. I'm gonna try to get a staff helmet or staff football because this is a Hall of Fame caliber staff. It's a couple guys up here. I gotta make sure I get signatures from. I'm gonna get a Frank Reich 14 jersey. I'm gonna get that.
Good luck. If you ain't got it yet, man, you.
No, I'm
gonna
get
prices,
a custom.
Bro?
No, I'm not talking about real. I'm talking about get the custom joints made. Deuce Staley, I gotta get Deuce to sign something. Won't be Eagles, obviously. Jim Caldwell, gotta get Jim Caldwell on something. Thomas Brown, I'll get something for him. But Josh McCown, I'll get a 12 jersey for him. Camping, shout out to James Campbell, offensive line coach, running backs coach. Obviously, Deuce Staley playing double duty. We still need a wide receivers coach. We still need a tight ends coach. Chris Tabor is our special teams coach, assistant special teams coordinator. Is Devin Fitzsimmons, who we just talked about that. Senior assistant, Dom Capers. Shout out to Dom Capers. Got to get Dom Capers on a throwback helmet. Matter of fact, I got one right there. I might take this one right here, this joint right here. I might get this joint right here and get Dom Capers to sign this joint. This is the old school. Old school. I might just take this and get this one signed by Dom Capers. All right. So that's what we're gonna do with Dom.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead. I'm gonna have to fly out for this one. I just found out I gotta fly out for May because I gotta go down to A&T for an endowment scholarship dinner, a scholarship lunch. So I gotta fly down for that. So I'm literally gonna be buying flights. I might just buy the flight for down for training camp too while I'm at it.
Shout out to the Dame guy. Says Aggie Pride. Shout out to Aggie Pride. It's all Aggie Pride all day, every day.
He knows what it is. See, he knows what it is. If you know, you know.
He says this means we will have McVay plays. I don't know about that. I think we'll get some McVay sprinkles. I think we'll get some McVay sprinkles in there.
You might get a little bit of that Salt Bay.
Yeah, we might get some Salt Bay in there, but I don't know if we're gonna get all McVay. But we'll see. We'll see. Bobby Digital says Jim Caldwell hire puzzled me because he oversee all three sides of the ball. Really, no need for him on defense side. Don Capers there. I see maybe issue.
Caldwell can coach all three. Nah, I disagree, man. I think you guys make this assumption. I think you guys make the assumption just because somebody has an expertise on one side, they can't coach the other side. That's insulting to a coach. I remember, do you guys remember when Raheem Morris, after he got fired from Tampa Bay, he went and became the wide receiver coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and they had one of the most prolific seasons as wide receivers did at the time when he was coaching those receivers? That's insulting to a coach that they can't coach both sides of the ball. So as somebody like Jim Caldwell, who's won 2 Super Bowls as a coordinator for 2 different teams, that's insulting to him. And also somebody that led a team as a head coach to a Super Bowl, that's insulting to him. Come on, guys.
So shout out. There's not gonna be any issues there.
There's not gonna be no issues.
So and again, these guys are senior assistants. They're not gonna be. They just kind of drop some sprinkles and hey, you should do it this way. Maybe think about it this way. They're not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be a big deal. Matty Matt says really good hires. Let's go get that QB and Aggie Pride, man. Aggie Pride to all the Aggies in the building. Aggie Pride to all the Aggies in the building. Yes, we do need a QB. That's next. We'll keep an eye on that.
We're gonna have 2. We're getting 2 more. Just a matter
defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero. Love that one. Defensive line coach Todd Walsh. That's the guy.
Don't know too much about him, man.
You gotta watch the little short, bro.
No, I watched the short. I'm just saying, like, I never heard of him. That's why you got to watch the shorts. I never heard of him until we hired him. So that's why you got to watch these shorts.
Hey, bro, like, listen, I didn't putting it together, bro. He was part of Saxonville, bro. Back when Jacksonville was having, they was getting busy. When they made the playoffs, he was I think defensive coordinator for that run. So this guy's got some experience. He's got some good experience working with some great players. So shout out to Todd Walsh, man. I like that pick. And he also, if you listen to Aiden Hutchinson gives him credit for improving the pass rush for Detroit, because he came from Detroit. So shout out to Todd Walsh. Todd Walsh. I want to call him Walsh. It's Wash. Todd.
It's Wash. Like
Todd
washing
Wash.
the car.
Yeah, but linebackers coach Peter Hansen again came from Denver with Evero. Jonathan Cooley from the Rams. Love that pick. Again, that's going to be our end. If we want to get Ramsay, that's going to be the end to get him. Because, again, he coached the DBs over there. So, again, we want that to happen. Burt Watts is the safeties coach. That's a Burt Watts. He came from, let me see, where did Burt Watts come from? I gotta watch my own short. They don't have to. Yeah, he's like one of the lesser known guys. And he came from like the college ranks too. Like he has a lot of college experience.
Somebody said Panthers we just hired 2 more coaches. Bro, you ain't gonna catch your movie at this rate. Go. We just hired 2 more coaches.
Okay, so we got to update this joint. Outside linebackers coach, Dave. Okay, that's kind of big. Wait a minute. Outside linebackers coach.
3-4. 3-4. 3-4.
Yeah, hold on. It's like that's kind of big, bro.
Trey-4.
Kind of big. Outside linebackers coach. That's big, bro. That's an indication for me. That's an indication for me.
We about to go 3-4, guys. Get ready. We about to go 3-4.
Oh, that said Tim Biaka Batuka. Hey, when I first saw it, that's what I read. You know, I'm dyslexic. That's what I read.
My man said Tim Biaka Batuka.
Yo, what's the other? What's the other hire? Oh yeah, so this is a great point too. Yannick is a free agent. Yannick has a connection to Ty Wash from Saxonville. So keep an eye on that. All right, let me scroll back up, because what's the other hire?
Twitter is hilarious. While you look for that other hire, I'm gonna read some tweets. Jonathan Jones. As it stands today, the Carolina Panthers are the only team in the NFL with black men at the offensive and defensive coordinator positions. Shout out my boy from Unnecessary Bluntness. He quote retweets and says, "That's one way to not lose a coordinator to a head coaching gig," and he just starts laughing. It's kind of true. All right. Here it is. Burt Watts is already there. That's the second one. You already got the second one.
I already got that one. All right.
Yeah.
So we good there. All right. Yeah, this is good. This is a good. That's huge, bro. Let me look up some information. I got to do a quick video for Tim Biaka Batuka. Tim LaBuka.
Dog.
Let me stop. Let me chill.
Yo, stop, man. Because then all of a sudden you'll see Tim Biaka Batuka in our chat talking shit.
Yeah.
Just like we had had my other guy in there, Philly Brown up in there, getting mad at me about Steve Smith, which, by the way, bro, if you don't get in with Julius Peppers next year, we're going to have a discussion.
Bro, if they both get in, fam, we making a road trip for sure. If both
they got to put them in at the same time. They have to.
Bro, we going. We
didn't even talk about that on Tuesday, too, by the way.
We didn't.
We need to talk. Did y'all, listen, man. and I'm gonna go in and say it here. I'm happy for all the players.
I got to get out of here.
No. I'm real happy with the players that got in, particularly Ken Riley. Shout out to him, FAMU alum. I'm happy for the players that did get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But the fact that not a single wide receiver get in is insane to me. That being said, they need to pick the right one to be a finalist because all the ones that were finalists were not better than Steve Smith. None of them. And Steve Smith is going to be humble. And he should and that's expected because that's what he's going to be. But there's no question, there's no argument here. There shouldn't be a debate. And before you guys come at me talking about, oh well, some of these others got rings, fam. If I got to play with NFL MVP status, I would get rings too. Like Torrey Holt got to play with Kurt Warner, Reggie Wayne got to play with Peyton Manning. Like, come on, guys, what are we talking about here? Like, no, Steve Smith is top 10 all-time in receptions. He's top 10 all-time in yards. And he's all pro in 2 different positions. And we can have a separate discussion about Devin Hester. But, because if you're gonna put somebody in, it probably should have been him. And he didn't get in either. But
all right, let's quickly talk about Tim LaCouba real quick. I got to get out of here. I got to go to the movies. All right, so again, he's 41 years old, 15 years of coaching experience, 5 of them being in the NFL. Most recently was a defensive coordinator at Boston College the last 3 seasons. Okay, so he's been in Boston College the last 3 seasons. He coached Isaiah McDuffie, who was a 6th-round pick, and then drafted by the Packers. So shout out to him for that. He had stints with the 49ers and the Bengals. He coached linebackers with the Bengals under Zach Taylor. And he coached. He was defensive coordinator. Oh, and sorry, that he coached linebacker with the Bengals under Zach Taylor. Was the quality control coach with the 49ers under Chip Kelly and Kyle Shanahan in 2017. Worked with the linebackers in 2016, 2017, and he mentored defensive backs Eric Reed and Jimmy Ward. Again. That's pretty much it. He was born in Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is interesting. Attended Colgate University, where he started 3 years at linebacker, and he played for the Raiders as well from 2000 to 2003. And he helped win the Colgate Raiders.
Colgate Raiders.
Not the LA Raiders or the Oakland. Where they play now? Vegas.
Not the
I went through their whole lineage. Damn.
LA, Oakland, LA again, Vegas, Oakland again, now Vegas.
But all right, so listen, this is the coaching staff in front of you. I've updated it on the fly. Outside linebacker coach to me, that just means 3-4 to me. That means 3-4 to me. I'm reading between the lines. That means we're converting to 3-4. I like it. I'm not mad at it. I think we have the personnel, but I think really what's going to be key is what we do in free agency. We're not going to rely on rookies. We're going to go out there and get some of these guys. Look for us to go get a Yannick. Look for some guys on the interior, some of these defensive ends, nose tackle. Those are things that we need on this defensive line that we don't have. So once we start to see some of these pieces get moved, you'll see that 3-4 will be the next move. All right. All right, Dave, I got to get out of here. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about, or do you want to stay on? Or
I ain't staying on. I got things to do. I gotta hop on my bike. I gotta get my daughter ready. We about to head to Baltimore Sunday morning because we gotta pull up to Delaware State. So I got things to get ready for, man.
So that being said, man, I got to get out of here. Make sure that like, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff, man. We'll holler at y'all. Shout out to the Panthers. Good hires. Like them across the board.
Hires.
Subscribe if you haven't done so. All right. Peace out.
Peace, guys. Y'all